on the Wednesday edition, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm Alex Strouf with you alongside Josh DiMaggio, Will Sommers, and Hunter Vaughn. Pretty simple, but also big episode for you today as we are 25 and a half hours away from the NBA trade deadline. Will Giannis be a Buck? Will he not be a Buck? That is the question everybody is wondering, and we are 25 and a half hours away from ultimately having a solution on whether Milwaukee will hang on to their multiple-time MVP, finals MVP superstar, Giannis Antetokounmpo, at least for the time being until the offseason. So we will have that answer in the next 25 and a half hours. We also have some updates regarding that situation that we will dive into. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst just sat down. He is at the podium for the first time since Green Bay traded for Micah Parsons. Gutekunst getting a contract extension last week, announced last week, I should say, and meeting with the media today for the first time since before the season even started. So I imagine a lot of ground will be covered that. We will hear from the general manager once his press conference comes to a close. We'll play you some of the best things and the biggest things that we take away from Brian Gutekunst here. And probably, I would say, 20 or so minutes is when we will hear from the Packers general manager. So I do want to start today with Giannis, though, because it's just fascinating to see the evolution of the rumor mill that is swirling around the two-time MVP and all the news and reports and updates that are shared in a situation like this. And look, it is abnormal for a guy of his level to even be considered a possibility at the trade deadline. So teams are obviously making their best efforts and making moves to add to their best efforts ahead of the trade deadline tomorrow to try to land a generational talent in Giannis. Now, I've kind of said all along, I don't know that it makes the most sense for the Bucks to pull the trigger before the deadline unless somebody gives them an unbelievable deal that they absolutely cannot refuse. And to this point, it doesn't sound like it's that level, right? Like it seems like the Warriors are the leader in the clubhouse, but either Jimmy Haslam or somebody in the ownership group has said, I don't know about that. So I just want to read you some of the things we've heard in the last 24 hours. So Jim Ozarski, who does a great job covering the Bucks for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, tweets last night mainly this quote from Giannis. He talked to him, I think it was before the game last night. Quote, "I want to be a Milwaukee Buck until I retire and win a championship here." End of sentence. That was the quote that was circulating. He went on to say some more things, but again, it's the Giannis appearance that we're kind of used to. He's committed to Milwaukee. He loves it here. But he also told Eric Name last night, which came out today on The Athletic, quote, "I want to be here, but I want to be here to win, not fighting for my life to make the playoffs." So as I read both of those quotes from Giannis last night, Joshy, I think it's kind of the old, I still love you and I care for you, but we may need to go our separate ways, right? That's kind of the way I'm reading this. Do you view it similarly?
Yeah. I thought it was largely him all but saying this is ending. This is coming to an end here. If it's before the trade deadline or after, this is it. The impression I got was I'm going to say the nice things on the front end. It also gives the ability, like Jim did, to run a headline that is going to grab people's attention and let them say, "Oh, look, he's not going anywhere." And then you read the full thing, the entire story, and then you end at, well, that's a guy who's ready to move on. The one thing I didn't like, as you read that article, and Giannis has done this a few times, he tries to shift the onus off of himself onto the franchise, which I think all four of us here on this program know. The Milwaukee Bucks would keep Giannis here until he was 50 if he kept signing on to play.
Yep.
They understand what a financial boon he is, even if the team is back to the old Herb Cole Bucks and they're fighting for, play-in appearances. But guess what? Giannis is still a moneymaker. He still sells jerseys. He still puts butts in seats. And people will be able to, through different iterations, convince themselves that maybe this year is the year. That is all very obvious to me. So I don't like that aspect of him trying to say, well, I don't know what they're going to do with me. You do know because you're the one telling them what to do. And maybe not directly to you, but your team certainly is, your agent. I'm not turning anti-Giannis. I just cut the cute stuff. We get it. There's going to be some people are mad. I'm sure some people will burn jerseys because it'll get them interactions on social media. But by and large, the fan base is all going to go, yeah, I get it. We did what we could. It failed at times. We can blame certain people. We cannot. But you still brought a championship here. It was the first time in 50 years. And we all have those memories, and we're not going to forget them. A lot of people got to grow up with Giannis.
Yeah, 100%.
It's akin to the way Brett Favre is viewed a lot, even with all the stuff. A lot of people, that was when they were coming into life and understanding sports and building that love for the team that they follow now.
Yeah.
It can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are in. It's done. There's hardly anything Giannis could do to make the vast majority of fans turn on him.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we played the quote, or I read the quote a couple weeks ago where he said, like, I'm fine being the good or the bad guy. You're not the bad guy. You're never going to be viewed as the bad guy. You're Giannis. Like, you're Milwaukee's favorite son.
He's too affable and likable.
I think the bad guy line, though, I almost wonder if he was more talking in terms of with his teammates and, like, having to be the guy that, like, gets on his teammates more and is trying to hold people more accountable. And, like, it's just a level, because, like, that was also after a game where he talked about how, like, they weren't passing well, they were being selfish. Like, I think he was saying that more in those terms. And he may have, but I don't think that was in response to the question.
No,
it was more related to the rumors.
No, that being the bad guy was him booing
back
fans.
at the fans, right? Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he also said it again, like, a week later when talking about, like, the team being selfish.
He might have tried to walk it back.
Yeah, I
see. This is where all the drama is just getting, like, my timeline is so messed up on all of this and when things happen.
It's hard to follow everything. It's hard to follow everything because there's a new report every hour. There's a new team interested every hour. There's do the Bucks actually want to trade him or not? Right? Like, we've had 3 different Brian Windhorst reports today that are kind of contradictory of one another.
Yeah, I think it also is sort of the nature of how these things often.
I agree,
go.
and I'm not saying Brian Windhorst has bad information. I'm just saying it evolves so quickly that it's a different story every hour.
And what's also happening is the Bucks are putting out things to drive up as much cost as humanly possible, and teams are trying to scare other teams away because they think they might have an inroads there that'll give them a deal that's probably better than Bucks fans would hope. Like, everyone's trying to work their angle. That much is obvious, and that's how all trades take place. You see with contract negotiations, you got the player side, then you got the team side, and you sort of come out in the middle. When Adolphe, the Vikings GM,
Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa,
when he got fired, why did they have a story ready to rip roar and set to go about how bad he was and all the things he failed at?
And his 2-week paternity leave?
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Yep.
Is that because you're trying to win the PR battle of something that is? I mean, the same thing happened with Aaron Rodgers. There was all the stories that came out as soon as he left that people were running about some of the bad things he did. Mike McCarthy had the same thing. It happens all the time, and everybody's trying to win the PR and also do best by their franchise. It's clear to me we've reached the end of Giannis in Milwaukee. It's either at the trade deadline or in the offseason. I'm
still holding out a little bit of hope, but
it's foolish. I've heard people run this out. I believe Bobby Marks was the one putting voice to it. Like, well, if they get lucky in the lottery and then they're able to reinvent the franchise and then build one year and then be that's how you make it worse.
There's a lot of ifs and buts.
Yes. That's not building. That is entering your name into a lottery.
But what if you get to October 1st?
That's me quitting tomorrow and being like, well, if I win the Powerball, I'm good.
I think that's a little dramatic.
Given your luck, though, Josh, you could do that.
No, it's not 2025 anymore. It's no longer the year of Josh.
I've been playing Powerball every time it reaches over $1 billion. I'm lucky if I get, like, the Powerball and my money back.
Get a couple bucks back.
You're a financial boon.
You don't know what the word boon means, do you?
I talked directly into the producer's room back there, and I said, affable, do you know that one? He said, I'm stuck on boon.
I just got boon out of the way.
He's a financial boon.
Keep up the good work, Josh.
Look, so I think the one path, and we've talked about this before, Joshy, is buy yourself 6 more months, Get through the trade deadline, buy yourself a few more months, see what you can make happen in the offseason, see what happens in the lottery, see if you can flip some pieces, add some pieces around Giannis, and hopefully you get to October 1st and he says, fine, I'll sign it. I'll sign the Supermax. And if you still have Giannis, I still think you have a potential to compete. Agreed?
Here's the thing that I think we haven't factored in accurately to this point. If Giannis ends up, for whatever miraculous reason, staying here, but then continues the tone that he's had throughout his career of, are they winning championships? Are we getting better? Are we doing all we can? I think that's when people start to get annoyed. Like, hey, man, you signed the Supermax. You're here. You had your out. There was all these opportunities, and then you reinvested. That, to me, is where I think people start to go, I'm out on this whole affair at this point.
Sure. Let's listen from Brian Windhorst, who was earlier today on First Take. I thought there's multiple levels to what he said on First Take with Christopher Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith, who are out in San Francisco at the Super Bowl. There's some levels to this. So let's take a listen to Brian Windhorst earlier today on ESPN.
Milwaukee has listened. They've had some back and forth, but they haven't indicated that they're actually going to trade him. Now, we all know about how negotiations go. I suspect weeks ago that the Bucks knew that this was going to come down probably to deadline in the last 24 hours. So we still are about to go into that. The Warriors have put everything they can on the table. I am hearing, I would never say that I know everything that's going on. There are lots of conversations I'm not aware of, but I am not aware of the Knicks doing stuff to improve their offer, and they don't have the offer that Milwaukee is going to take. So in my view, unless you have a mystery team, this is a 3-horse race for Giannis, but the choice is really down to the Bucks, and really I think the choice is down to Bucks ownership. Because I know that Giannis is ready to move. Giannis is ready to move. These other teams are ready to move. There's ancillary pieces that our teams are ready to move. Is Bucks ownership in the next 24 hours going to say, okay, let's move on from him now? If that answer ends up being yes, you see this.
And if the answer is no, obviously no. So it comes down to Bucks ownership. Jimmy Haslam, D. Haslam, Wes Edens. Comes down to Bucks ownership. What do you do if you're in their chair? I think Joshy says, let's move them.
Everybody keeps telling me there's some better deal, and I understand the machinations of how that would be a better deal. But do you believe
you just pissed Will off so bad when you said machinations? You should have seen the eye roll from back there. Okay, continue.
How demonstratively better is it going to be than what is happening right now?
Demonstratively better. I don't think there's a massive difference.
Right, and that's the part I'm suspicious of. There's a piece of me that's going,
right,
this deal is likely going to be similar.
But hold on.
But you're going to be able to convince yourself it's better.
So I don't even think it's necessarily a trade package. It's ultimately, do they believe they can find a way to flip the script? Do they believe they can find a way to change his mind after the season comes to a close? Do they believe they can go out and, whether that's sign free agents, make trades, add assets, whatever that looks like, do they believe they are capable of building a championship roster around Giannis that is better than whatever this iteration was? Because whatever this iteration was is an abject failure, right? It just is. It's not good enough. We talked about the 2 through 15 thing the other day. Like, there are not enough championship level pieces around a bona fide superstar in Giannis this season. They're losing without Giannis right now, but the truth is they were losing with Giannis before too. And that's an issue. So if they believe, hey, if we get through the deadline and we get through the season and we have a lottery pick for the first time in a decade, can we add some pieces that are valuable around Giannis where we can go from being one of the worst teams in the East this year to, again, a heavy hitter and a powerhouse next year? That's what Bucks ownership, I think, Joshy, more so than, will the package be, minutely better? Will it be significantly better in the offseason? I think it's more so, can they wrap their heads around a legitimate plan, right, that they can win Giannis back over?
I think that's silly.
I don't disagree necessarily. I'm just saying I think that's where their head has to be at, rather than is the package.
I don't know.
Because it's more mystery box than if you're just waiting for a better package in the offseason.
The reports of them being ready to move him ready to be moving on, seems like a finality, a final nail in the coffin. And now it's just procedural. When does it happen? That's where it seems to me, and that seems like the most likely outcome. The Bucks get a second overall pick because the team that owns theirs gets the first. So it's a miraculous outcome, impossibly thin odds. They draft the second best guy in the draft, and Giannis goes, "Ooh, I like where this is going." What? Why? What changes his mind?
Yeah, that's one piece.
Yeah, well,
the problem is clearly more than one piece.
Right, but what do you get with Miles Turner and Bobby Portis?
What do you get for them, or what do you get with them?
What do you get for them? Because obviously there would have to be more moves involved here.
Yeah.
Like, are people lining up for the services of Miles Turner?
I mean, I think you're probably getting a pick, maybe.
You're getting another Bobby Portis for Bobby Portis, maybe just a little bit younger.
I liked that. It's a good pop.
Another trade just went through.
I see that. Go ahead.
Middleton. Dallas Mavericks are trading 10-time NBA All-Star Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, both former Bucks, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, 2 first-round picks, and 3 second-rounders per Shams Charania.
So D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis wind up in the nation's capital, while Chris Middleton, again, just another piece. But A.J. Johnson, as you mentioned, a draft pick a couple of years ago to Milwaukee.
Who's averaging 2.8 points per game this season.
Good for him.
First-round pick.
Good for him. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Chris Middleton. Man. Flip him back. That'll make Giannis happy. Right, Joshy?
No.
No, it will.
It would be pretty funny if they traded Giannis to the Mavericks now to get Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, and then picks back. Like, I saw people were saying, too, that they should trade Giannis to the Trailblazers and get all their picks that they gave up for Dame Lillard back.
They could, in theory.
Yeah, and it would still be their own draft position.
Yeah. So we will see.
There could also I think there's another part with the Bucks ownership maybe wanting to wait. And I've seen the idea of if they can wait into the offseason, then teams have the money available for then being able to like work out deals with him. Like, it allows the more teams to be able to plan for adding what his contract would do to their roster. So like, you don't have as many teams that can make those dollars work. So that at least opens up the market by a couple more teams. So that could also be a part of it. And then, too, kind of more what those draft picks actually look like if you're looking for pieces or picks from this year, because the lottery will have happened then. So that is also a part of this. I don't think it's still a good reason for the Bucks to wait, but that could also be a part of their like delay in making any decision.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many factors at play, to be real honest with you. And that's where I get jumbled up in thinking that something can get executed in the next 25 hours. But we'll see. We'll see. It's exhausting, though, man. To Will's earlier point, like, just 800 things happening all the time. I can't follow all of this.
Josh is using big words. Goody's talking. Giannis.
A lot going on.
Pro Bowl.
Goody's giving endorsements to Rich Bisaccia.
We'll get to that in a moment. We will get to that in a moment. I just want to get a...
Did you read Eric Name's piece?
I did. I did read the big quote earlier in the show. Quote, "I want to be here, but I want to be here to win, not fighting for my life to make the playoffs," which is what Giannis said to Eric Name last night.
Well, also the part of, basketball, you see basketball, you understand basketball, you've been around greatness, you've been around a championship team, you've been around a good culture.
This is Giannis talking to Eric?
Yes. You've been around when the popcorn was popping. You were around. You saw it. If you tell me that that's possible, we can hang up the phone and keep moving on with our day. Neither of us hung up the phone, and neither of us moved on about the rest of our day.
Go ahead. Your takeaway is?
That Giannis clearly believes, nor does Eric, that there's a path forward to them competing for championships in the near future. And that Giannis doesn't want to be in Milwaukee anymore.
It's not that he doesn't want to be in Milwaukee.
It's like a bad romantic comedy. Like
But
Giannis,
again, I feel like we do at least owe Giannis
There
the
you
small
go.
shred of credit.
No.
It's not that he doesn't want to be in Milwaukee.
He doesn't want to be here.
He doesn't want to fight for his life to make the playoffs.
It'll be better for you if you just accept it.
Strouf, it's not. He likes the
No!
city.
It's not you he doesn't
Yes,
like.
it's not
No.
the city of Milwaukee that you live in. It's the Milwaukee Bucks,
Guys,
the organization.
yes, you're right about that. But I will say this:
He doesn't hate you.
It's just it's right person, wrong place, wrong time. Right? That's the relationship analogy we could use here. It's the right person, but it's the wrong place, it's the wrong time, and it's not working out anymore.
What you're describing is how you lie to the person you're breaking up with.
Yes, he
Wrong
is
person.
trying.
Those are all ostensible. Those are just lies.
He's trying to make the Bucks think that it's their idea to break up with him.
It doesn't change the reality. It is what it is. He doesn't want to be here. He would prefer to be with another team that he thinks is better suited to compete for championships.
It's not you, it's me.
No.
It's him.
Yeah.
It's him. And that's okay.
Right? It's not you, it's me.
No, it's him.
This is saying. Right? This is Giannis saying it's not you, it's me.
No, he's not saying that because in the beginning he also, and to Jim Ozarski, said, I want to be here forever. I want to retire here. I want to spend on the. He's doing the compliment to lead. I mean, no offense, but. And then tells you all the reasons why this is unsustainable. It can't happen here, and we need to move on.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And a lot of people are taking it that way. And I suppose I understand why. But he doesn't believe in the Bucks organization to retool and figure it out and build a championship. The winning needs to happen now, and the time it would take for the Bucks to do it is going to take too long. And he's worried about his longevity, his health, and when he'll be able to actually truly dictate championships or not.
I still don't want to accept it.
We can tell.
What phase of grief do you think I'm in? Bargaining?
And I'm not sure you've passed denial. If we're being quite frank about it.
I want to be quite frank.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
I can't with any measure of confidence say you've surpassed denial.
I would agree.
Hunter?
Yeah, he's still in denial. And it's really obvious, and it's really annoying that you won't admit it, Strouf. Like, it's over.
I think
it's
I'm more
okay.
in bargaining.
It's
because
over.
But here's the thing. It's not over if they get past tomorrow. It's not over.
It's over.
It's
not
over.
It's over.
All you've done is delay it into the off season, and then it's going to happen. That's it.
And then it's going to be over. See, if you were in bargaining, you wouldn't be making the case for why it's not over. You're defining denial.
You think they're going to make the play in, and he's going to be like, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong about the Bucks.
They're more likely to have a top 5 pick than to be in the play-in right now.
I don't think they're winning a title this year.
Thanks,
Right.
Sherlock.
You're welcome. But if they can get them to the offseason.
Then they're going to have more time.
Right.
There's going to be more assets available for them to get what they want out of a
Then
trade.
maybe they can find more suitors. That's
Yeah.
that's where
where
you
they're
need
at.
to be on it.
Now. All right. Well, that's our Giannis talk for the day. Here we go. Let's talk Brian Gutekunst, Packers general manager. I think he's still at the podium at Lambeau Field, but we've got some pieces of audio and some pieces of. We will read you some quotes because we don't have everything quite yet to play for you here today. But it sounds exactly like what we expected, Josh. To be really honest with you. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst asked about his comment from last offseason when he said it's time we start competing for championships around here. That's the expectation. We need some urgency. About 54 weeks ago, he said that. He was asked about that today, Here is his comments on the expectations entering 2026.
Yeah, like I said, I think there in every NFL season, there's successes, there's disappointments. We have one goal here, and we never run from it. We're here to win championships, and I think this team is capable of that. 2026 will be a different team, but the expectations won't change. Again, I thought there were some really good things during the season. There also were some major disappointments, but I really do like the guys we have in that locker room, the guys that are coming back, and we'll continue to add to that. And again, I think we're all excited to get at it.
So there's Brian Gutekunst, virtually saying nothing.
You could just copy and paste that.
Yeah, was that this year or last year?
Right.
Now, Hunter may have accidentally played last year. So
I mean, I do have the video now. It just, of course, took forever to actually download, and it is the one from today.
Clothes?
Okay.
Yes.
But again, there's no way to know, really.
Well, the lighting's a little bit better in there.
A little more sunny on the 5th floor.
Yeah, I think he got a haircut, maybe.
His hair always looks the same, actually. I can't tell.
Maybe it's his skin tone.
But
maybe
anyway,
Cabo.
the point we are making ultimately is it's the same thing he says every year. Right? The expectations to win championships. He likes the guys in the room, yada, yada, yada. Here's some other things he says every year. Brian Gutekunst was asked about guys that could or could not be back. Okay? This is
there's a phrase, take it with a grain of salt. Take anything he says about anybody being back with the utmost, largest grain of salt ever.
Aaron Jones is the best example of this, right? When he said, he had a great season, we expect to have him back. He then signed Josh Jacobs and released Aaron Jones. It's February. He's not being honest about this. It's just what Goody does because he probably hasn't even made up his mind on a lot of these yet. Okay? Gutekunst says, this is from Matt Schneidman of The Athletic. Gutekunst says he expects Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs back since they're under contract for next season. When asked about Rashawn Gary, Gutekunst sticks to the company line of, quote, we expect everyone under contract to be back, end quote. Acknowledges the different levels of production from first half to second half of season with Gary. Of those three guys, one of them back maybe, Joshy? Maybe two? Banks, Hobbs, Gary?
I think two. I think both those guys are there. I've said this before. I said it during the season. The Packers have to learn their lessons the hard way. So the two guys that were signed, he ain't quitting on. It looks bad on him.
Banks and Hobbs, yeah.
Yeah. If Rashawn Gary comes back, I think we need to take the show to Green Bay for the first training camp and pick it outside practice. That's how dire things got at that for him during the course of the season. It's unimaginable for me to have him back under what it would cost to have him back, even at a lesser deal. Sayonara.
You know what's going to happen here, Josh? They're going to bring him back. He's going to do nothing the 4 weeks that Micah's out. And then he's going to end up with a 10-sack season because Micah will be back and he's going to get freebies. And then they're going to sign him to an extension.
Okay, well, that's a step too far because that'd be a third contract and they don't do that.
That would be my hell.
Yeah, which is why it'd be so funny.
But prior to the contract extension, I think you're spot on. I actually think that there's a very good chance exactly what you just said happens. He goes to the Pro Bowl again. People start changing their mind on him. I don't like that. I don't like it, but I also don't hate that prediction.
It'll be my life's goal then to share every time he was just jogging as a quarterback ran away from him.
Right.
In a playoff game, mind you, that also happened.
All right, let's get angry for a moment. 2 quotes about special teams. You ready?
Jeez.
This one first from Jason Hirschhorn. Quote, I really think the last 4 or 5 years, we've probably put more of an emphasis on it being special teams than we ever have, end quote. That from Brian Gutekunst goes on to say, quote, I have a lot of faith in Rich, that's Bisaccia, and what we're doing there, end quote. Are we watching the same thing, man?
No, that's him lying to us.
I really think over the last 4 or 5 years, we've probably put more of an emphasis on it than we ever have. What the hell's that mean?
It means nothing.
You're the worst in the league the last 4 or 5 years. The worst. Number 32.
Yeah.
You're the worst team in the league in special teams the last 5 years.
Yeah, it means we know you see it, we see it too, but we're not going to change it because we believe in our process. That's what that means.
You said it before. The Packers always have to learn their lesson the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
You just said it a few minutes ago. This is the exact definition of that.
Oh, yeah.
What's the definition of insanity?
It's not what everyone says it is.
Huh?
That phrase annoys me because it's not real. It's just
because the definition of insanity is actually not doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results?
Yeah.
No, it is not the literal definition of insanity. That bothers you?
Yes.
You're a weird individual.
I think people use it too much.
Sorry, won't happen again.
Well, especially now when you actually Google the definition of insanity, I can see why Josh would feel that way. I'm kind of on Josh's side here. I'm not the word person, so I'll let Will look it up, and he can use that as another one. But
No, we could keep that one out.
We got enough words today.
Dr. Denver Dan, when I said, hey, we're ready to talk about special teams, he said, sure, let's ruin my day.
Yeah.
Or
was
was that about the comment above it? Because there was a string of comments there about Jonathan Gannon here that were great.
Rashawn Gary. I mean, it's all irritating, right? Because the thing is, Goody, number one, isn't going to be completely honest about roster decisions that still have to be made. He never has been. He never will be. That's okay. And again, it could be a portion of that could be he honestly doesn't know what he's going to do with Rashawn Gary, Nate Hobbs, and Aaron Banks. He might not. He might have no clue what he's going to do this offseason because it depends on free agent availability. It depends what he does in the draft, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he may not have made decisions on those guys yet. Now, expecting him to say, hey, yeah, I think we'll probably move on from Rashawn Gary, it's just not going to happen. He's not going to say that. Now, when it comes to the Rich Bisaccia and special teams thing, great. I'm glad you put an emphasis on it. The bad news is, Brian, it didn't work.
Yeah. It's been a failure.
And I guess, obviously, the journalists in that room are not going to talk to Brian Gutekunst the way we are talking about his comments. But I hope to God, and I'm not watching it, and I haven't listened to any of it. I've just been trying to follow it on Twitter as we're on the air here because he went on the podium the same time we signed on. I hope somebody said, the emphasis is great, Brian, in a much less, direct way, in a less combative way.
Mm-hmm.
The emphasis is great, but you rank dead last in the NFL for EPA in special teams over the course of the last 7 seasons, which is the entire tenure of Matt LaFleur. Mm-hmm. Special teams has been the worst in the league. The worst. Number 32. So if you're putting such an emphasis on it, why isn't it working?
Yeah, I think the honest answer is they aren't putting that much of an emphasis on it other than the Rich Bisaccia portion. They don't hold roster spots for guys hardly or rarely do for guys who are actually difference makers. We haven't had they fell ass backwards into Keyshawn Nixon, who when he was originally with Rich Bisaccia and the Raiders, he never even returned kicks. And then they discovered that, and that ended up being an advantage. Since that point, it's just been throw guys back there and hope for the best, and it hasn't worked. Do I think they're going to then go out of their way to make sure guys can do that? No, I don't. I don't think they're going to change anything. I think this is their way of telling us, suck it up. This is how things go. And maybe we'll get lucky and has something miraculous will happen, but the evidence tells us that it is what it is. It isn't going to change, and complaining about it only gets us so far.
Want to keep getting angry?
Oh, no.
Just saw another new one.
Cornerback room?
That's the one. Matt Schneidman. Gutekunst says Keyshawn Nixon had a, quote, very, very good year, end quote. Doesn't think cornerback needs wholesale changes, but wants to improve depth at the position. Not from Matt Schneidman of The Athletic.
That's Pro Bowler Keyshawn Nixon to you, pal.
Yep.
Well, come on, dude. I mean,
he's objectively correct.
Did he have a very, very good year? I don't think that's objectively correct.
Well, he's one of the best in the league. He made the Pro Bowl.
If he said, I think he had a Pro Bowl season, That would be objectively correct.
I guess also, what are you looking for him to do? Tell the guys that he needs next year that they suck?
No, and I guess wholesale changes is strong because I would expect at the very minimum Nixon and Valentine are back.
Yes.
Definitely Valentine, and I would assume Nixon as well, who wants a raise, is my understanding. But you need
all that extension.
So I guess to say he wants to improve the depth is fine because you had none. Bo Melton was your depth. You had a wide receiver as your depth at cornerback. So sure, that's fine. He had a very, very good year. Wholesale changes are strong, and I don't think a general manager will ever admit that. And he's really only done that once, I think, in his tenure in terms of a position group, and that was safety 2 years ago, where it was no longer Darnell Savage and Jonathan Owens. It was then Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams as a rookie and Javon Bullard.
Did we see this quote directly on Rashawn Gary?
If it's not the one about, no, I didn't see it.
I thought he started out really, really strong. Obviously, he had a lot of production early. I think he ended up with 60-some pressures and 7.5 sacks. That's pretty good production in the NFL.
It's fine.
Now split the season in half.
Notes it was not a strong finish for Gary, though.
Yep.
I mean, it wasn't. He's right.
It wasn't a strong start.
It was. He led the league in sacks for 3 weeks.
He got cleanup sacks.
He was on pace to break the record.
He was at one point. You're right.
Through like 4 games.
It's a great point by you, Will.
He had one of the single best pass rushers in the league doing all the work.
Right, but he was in good shape.
And then after those 3 games, Micah Parsons still played for much of the season. It was pretty late, actually, during the course of the season when he went out. And then he became an absolute zero while Micah Parsons was still on the field. And then he lost the snaps to J.J. Enigbare. Not a big snap count guy.
Rich Bisaccia's impact on the Packers. Quote, I've got a lot of faith in Rich and his staff and what they do around here. Not only the X's and O's, but what they bring culturally to the staff.
Vibes guy.
When Jason and Rob told you that they thought he was important to the culture, that is the team message sent. We need to tell everybody this. It's not working. No one believes it, nor do they think the culture in Green Bay right now is worth preserving and keeping the way it is. I do believe that players probably like him. I don't know if he's good at scheming up special teams or having his guys prepared for all the intricacies of it. That, to me, seems obvious. I think any denial of that would be... You notice how quickly they pivot to culture. You throw out the, he's good at what he does, but guess what? He's culture also.
Mm-hmm.
Culture coordinator.
Yeah. Isn't there a thing on the internet about, like, there's people who are culture hires?
He's like a bench coach in the MLB.
Yeah, personality hires.
He's a personality hire.
We accused
don't
Strouf
really
of
give a
that for
bleep what he
years in
does.
Madison.
That's true. I still get accused of that. Yeah.
The production isn't there, nor does he provide much in terms of wins and losses or profitability, but guess what? People like him.
And apparently that's enough to pay him $2 million a year.
He's probably making more than that by now, if we're being honest.
So that's pretty much the highlights / lowlights of Brian Gutekunst. Talking to the media today for the first time since the Micah Parsons trade. I actually thought today was going to make me feel better about where the Packers were headed. It made me feel worse.
I mean, what are you doing?
Okay, so what were you expecting out of this then? Because he played the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And I guess I was expecting some
I wonder what
urgency that he asked for a year ago, and it just doesn't sound like there is any.
I wonder what it would be like to go through life a day like you.
What do you mean? It's awesome. My life rocks.
Hang on, Josh.
I live the best life.
Wait, Josh, before you finish this, please remember that you still have to live a life like Will. So do you want to question what life like another person on this show is like?
Good point by Hunter. That's a good point by Hunter.
No, what I'm questioning is to wake up and to delude yourself every day that it's sunshine, rainbows, and kittens. Everybody loves me. Everybody thinks I'm funny, and everybody's going to say all the things I like. That's what I want to know what it's like.
I don't think everybody thinks I'm funny.
Josh, who would you rather spend a weekend with, me or Strouf?
Oh, it's you, I think. I don't know that it's particularly close.
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
It is a lot. We'll spend some good time with me outside of work.
I would need like to just lock myself in the bathroom for an hour just to get a breather.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
A lot of questions.
Although I will say this, I'm
Hey,
pretty
Josh, how'd you sleep?
I'm pretty calm on the weekend.
What'd you dream about?
Yeah.
I would ask you that.
Yeah.
I would ask you.
See, and that
Was I in your dreams?
That would grate on me after long enough. It already does. And we have designated separation time every day.
It's designated separation time. So hold on. To answer your question, to live life like me, it's not. I don't wake up and it's rainbows and kittens and
sure
butterflies,
seems like
and
it.
everybody thinks I'm handsome and funny.
Do you have like a note on your mirror when you wake up and you're like, Brian Gutekunst is going to be good today?
If there's anybody who never needs self-affirmation post-it notes, it's you. Those are naturally occurring.
Yeah, that just happens. I'm just always in a good mood.
Yeah.
Now,
Like, I see you being somebody who finds a nickel on the street and be like, yes, it's my day. While the rest of us just keep walking.
it would take at least a dime.
Okay.
Yeah, at least a dime.
You're a little greedy.
I'm not a big
You're a
nickel
financial
guy.
boon.
Financial boon. Yeah.
Still not there.
No, I don't wake up like that, Josh. I'll just say this.
It's a routine.
I really do believe this can be a good football team.
I do too.
But the issue is, this is the guy that talked about urgency a year ago. And through, it seemed about 40 minutes or so at the podium, the things I've read so far, and again, I didn't watch the whole thing, and I'll go back and watch most of it. But the little bit I've read so far, Josh, it doesn't seem like he's spouting urgency and championship expectations.
Yeah, but we going through this. What is he going to do? Tell you that people sucked? And then
I think we could all agree it wasn't good enough.
You could overall just say that the standard was not met. You
Right.
need to raise the
I
standard.
think he probably did do that in the beginning part where he said, you know what the standard is, and that's Super Bowls and that whole that's him gesturing towards that. The fact that you thought something like monumental was going to happen, he's like, Rashawn Gary's cut. We're going to do everything we
I
did.
didn't expect
I
that.
mean, Micah Parsons was a trade. That to me is once you pull that lever,
Sure. That's urgency.
it's hard to be more urgent than that.
Sure.
A thing the Packers had historically never done that was give up first-round assets. They gave up 2 of them. And then a franchise, I don't know if he's a legend, but a certain Packers Hall of Famer. And they went out and got him. He's probably looking around and going, I don't know how much more I can do.
He's got to reinvent. I guess I can't say reinvent. But he's got to do a lot at 3 different position groups this offseason. Specifically, the entire offensive line and its depth.
Here's what I could tell you. If I'm reading between the lines, there ain't a lot of reinvention coming to that cornerback room. There's probably going to be a draft pick thrown at it.
Good.
And
I'm fine with that.
But that draft pick could be a starter day one, or it could be a guy who sees 100 snaps all season.
And that's where we have a problem.
Yeah.
But again, I will say this, and I know a lot of people got on Carrington Valentine for not knowing how to tackle at the end of the year. But that's a guy who was a 7th-round pick who was a legitimate contributor his rookie year. Now, again, I'm not saying that can be repeated very easily. But that was a good pick and a good feather in Goody's cap when he was thrust into action because Jair Alexander couldn't stay on the field. So Valentine, who is one of their starters, entering, I think this will now be year 4 for him. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, year 4.
Sure it's not 3?
No, this is year 4.
If you're a 7th-round pick, wouldn't you need to get an extension to play a 4th year?
No, I'll
it'd be the
contracts for
5th.
4 years. But I think this will be year 4 for Valentine. And, he's carved out a really good role for himself. He's an
It'll
NFL
be
starter.
year 3.
He was drafted in 23? Or 24, rather?
He was drafted in 2023.
Yeah, so 23, 24, 25. This will be year 4.
Oh, maybe they just haven't updated. I looked at his stats. He played 17 games in 2023?
Yeah, because Jair was hurt. And, some of those games were special teams reps.
I don't remember that. I mean, he had 33 tackles, 9 pass defenses.
He played a lot because
He was out there a lot.
Jair couldn't stay on the field. And that was a big problem. So hopefully he can get it right in the draft again, even without a first-round pick. So, all right, that's our Goody reaction. I'm sure we'll have plenty more where that came from on Friday. But all negative for me today. All negative. I don't get the special teams thing is really my bugaboo today. I have a lot of faith in Rich. We've put more emphasis on it in the last 4 or 5 years. Like, you guys stink at that. You stink. The emphasis doesn't matter. Irritating. It's Wednesday. We'll react to the news we've missed. Oh, boy. Speaking of news, Nathaniel Hackett will not be the Dolphins quarterbacks coach because he will join Mike LaFleur's staff as the offensive coordinator in Arizona.
Did you guys see Mike LaFleur talking to players?
I did.
I'm concerned we got the second best LaFleur.
Oh, no.
Shots.
Oh, no.
Explosives. You can
At least Matt has better hair.
That haircut's wrong.
Bad haircut.
That
And
haircut's wrong.
he might not be a good head coach, and he's just a good talker. But that.
Are you talking at his press conference when he said the guys in the back of the room?
Yes.
This part? Yes. Yeah, it was inspiring.
Yeah.
I bet those guys were ready to run through a brick wall.
Do you remember Matt LaFleur's press conference where it looked like there was a ghost in the room with him?
I do. But he's a good head coach. I'm not too worried about it. 7 years ago, Josh.
Good head coach. We'll see.
He's definitely a head coach.
Yeah, he's won.
He's definitely a good one.
One of 32.
Definitely a good one.
Where are you
His
putting
finest
him
days
among
may
the
be behind
32,
him.
Josh?
15, 16, 18.
Wow.
No, you're not. He's so full
You
of it.
didn't ask about play calling. Play calling's top 10. Top 8, maybe.
Doesn't that play into the head coach part?
Yeah, and that's how poor lowly I think of all the other stuff he does. Game management, all that stuff. Knowing when to use a timeout. knowing when you should be going for it or not.
Making 2-possession games a 2-possession game.
Holding your players accountable. Coaches accountable. Things of that nature. A lot of room for improvement.
Where does he rank in the NFC North? Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Ben Johnson.
Probably in that order.
I didn't say his name.
So he'd be the next name.
I put him 3.
In front of
And
who?
the only reason I don't have Ben Johnson ahead of him is because he only has 1 year.
So you'd go Campbell 1, O'Connell 2, LaFleur 3, Johnson 4.
If the Bears have the same exact season that they did this last year and they lose in the divisional round, are you putting Ben Johnson ahead of Matt LaFleur?
Yep.
Okay.
Until I see those other teams be walking blunders like Matt LaFleur's been the past 2 seasons, then maybe we'll have a conversation.
Wow.
KOC still went over 500 with J.J. McCarthy.
Sure did.
People
9.
forget. And Max Brosmer and Carson Wentz.
9.
I mean, that team was hopeless.
Those 3 guys putting all their talent together wouldn't have made the playoffs.
That team went out there, and they could have just had a punter, and they would have been as successful. Just put the punter back there. Let him throw it around and see what happens.
All right, it's Wednesday. We've got to react to some other news. Hunter's got a list of topics. Will, Joshy, and I will respond to the topics with one word, sometimes less, sometimes more. It's time now for One Word Wednesday. Hunter, go ahead.
We're going to start with the NBA. I came across this article on ESPN.com talking about the most points scored by a rookie. Did you know that the 5th most points in a single game by an NBA rookie was Bucks legend Brandon Jennings, putting up 55 points on Golden State?
That adds up.
I did know that.
Yeah, that adds up. I did know he did that. I guess I didn't realize it was the 5th most ever, but fascinating.
3 shy of the all-time record.
My word is 6.
Bucks and 6. You're clever. I don't know if I have a word for this. Cool.
Bucks.
Some college basketball games. Good Saturday of college hoops. We've got number 4 Duke at number 14 North Carolina on Saturday at 5:30. You can watch that game on ESPN.
Booze.
I'm going Super Bowl because I don't pay attention until after the NFL season's over.
Super Bowl's 2 words.
Yep. Breaking
Marquette.
the rules, too.
It's National Marquette Day on Saturday. My word is Marquette.
I don't want
Word to the
right
wise.
now.
Avoid downtown. If
Word
you're,
to the wise.
unless you're partaking.
What if I live here?
Get out.
Or get all your groceries on Friday so you don't have to leave your apartment.
Fair
Also
idea.
on Saturday, big game in the Big Ten. Number 5, Illinois at number 10, Michigan State. 7 p.m. tip-off.
Izzo.
That's all I got. The only person I know on either of those teams.
Illini.
This is going well.
Okay. I'm going to read you guys a couple of tweets that I came across. This one was from yesterday. Jordan Lopnow had 42 years ago today, on February 3rd, 1984, Platteville High School senior Paul Christ broke the backboard after attempting a dunk at Richland Center.
Hooper.
Let's say hops.
Athlete.
Who would have known Paul could get up like that?
I didn't know that.
Even if it was a failed dunk.
Yeah, they didn't
realize
say
he
if
hooped
he
like that.
actually dunked it. They just said attempted the dunk.
Attempt.
Which makes me think he missed.
Yeah.
I think a broken backboard's cooler than a dunk.
I agree with that. That's
Yeah.
a good take by you.
And then finally, this tweet from Wyatt. Kuzma 30 ball right before the deadline is like giving your dog chocolate before you put it down.
Harsh.
Failure.
Win.
Who, Kuzma?
Yeah. Remember, there's been 2 moves the Bucks have made, and we all felt like, yeah, it's probably like necessary. But it was Kyle Kuzma and Doc. We all went, well, this ain't gonna work.
Yep.
Kuzma was a move they made to literally who can we guarantee more minutes to?
I just remember us thinking, yeah, I don't know what this does for the Bucks.
I bet if we did hard enough work, we could go back and we could find you putting a positive spin on it.
Oh, for sure. Younger, more reliable, more durable than Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
I guarantee that's what I said.
Yep.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
Which are all
I can
still
just give you
like,
I can
those are
give
all
you the mental
facts.
script right now.
Yeah.
Right, and that's my positive spin typically. Is okay. Why would they trade Chris Middleton? He's got a high end, but he can't stay on the court. They need to be faster. They need to be younger. They need to be more durable. And Kuzma did check those boxes. That was definitely the thing I liked about the trade. But also, I probably said something to the effect of, he's an NBA champion. He's a winner. Knows how to win.
He's closer to a bad NBA player than he is a good one.
The thing is,
He was the
Kuzma
leading
is
scorer on the worst
great.
team in the league.
He is great for once a month dropping a 30 bomb out of nowhere on a random weeknight like he just did. And it's the funniest thing in the world because you never know when it's going to happen. You just know every about 30 days he's just going to go off for a night.
Well, nice win last night by the Bucks. They led throughout. Kuzma had a big game.
You just found that out, didn't you?
I watched the first half and then I stopped watching. They were up big though. They were up big. They were up like 20 points at halftime.
25.
Thank you. You watched? Well, you watched?
No. I just read about it this morning. I'm more of a reader nowadays.
Oh, jeez.
I don't really succumb to the visual brain rot things that you guys do that hurt your
The
eyes.
visual brain rot thing.
I'm sure.
More of an intellectual guy.
That's what they say.
What I've always heard people say about
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
An ideas guy like Josh.
Is Joshy an ideas guy?
We get mixed up all the time because they're like, I thought you were the ideas guy.
It's something I say often, and then Will repeated it to Mussolini, and she said, "What is this? You both say it?" So apparently, didn't know it, but
Keep up the good work, Josh.
it's basically when there's a plan and I don't agree with it, and I try and offer other ones, and I get told no. I said, "Well, I'm just an ideas guy, just throwing it out there."
And
Or why do we do it this way when this way seems like it would be better? I get a no. I said, "Not just an idea."
Will, do you think you and Josh are similar individuals?
In ways. In more ways than you'd think, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself in Josh?
I wouldn't go that far.
Let me rephrase the question. Josh, do you see a young you in Will?
There are certain aspects, yes, certainly.
How does that make you feel?
Me?
Yeah.
Great.
Pretty good.
Makes you feel pretty good?
No, I'd imagine if he's like looking at somebody who's trying to build a career, he'd be like, yeah, it's not bad.
Not a bad guy to follow in his footsteps.
I'm not saying there's no one better, but it certainly
Going down the right path.
I have a roof over my head, food to eat. These are on the up and up.
Not to derail from this, but Levi in the ESPN Milwaukee chat asking who won the ridiculous Pro Bowl games last night. The Pro Bowl was last night? I genuinely did not know.
I watched a little bit of that, too. Micah Parsons was scootering around, which was very entertaining.
How's reading going for you?
Me and reading are on a little bit of a break.
That's how it starts.
Shocker.
You didn't even make it to February?
There was a dead giveaway when you both watched pieces of the Bucks, who are a hopeless franchise trying to improve their lottery odds. And then you watched the Pro Bowl, which is a flag football game that Shedeur Sanders was throwing passes in. That's key takeaway of you're screen rotting.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's fair. So all of you that added me on Goodreads, which I got a lot of friend requests on Goodreads when I shouted it out that one time.
I got one in there that I don't know who it is, and I just left them there pending. So if that's you, I'm sorry.
I haven't picked the book back up since then.
Have you finished that book, or are you still?
No, I'm still on it. I haven't picked it up in weeks. It's probably been like 4 weeks.
It's almost like you should have started reading something that has much more of a narrative and could be something that is compelling for you instead of like you're trying to learn.
Go back and read it.
Yeah.
No, it is compelling. I really enjoy the book.
that you haven't touched in weeks. Then you clearly didn't actually enjoy it. You're just trying to high road us.
I've never been compelled by something that I then ignored for weeks.
That's not true. TV shows?
Nope.
No,
if there's more episodes and I was actually compelled by it, I want to watch it.
Them. Yeah.
Like, I'm annoyed I missed an episode of a TV show last night, and I'm going to go home tonight and watch it right away because I'm compelled by it.
Right, but that's not to say life doesn't get in the way of other things.
Your life hasn't gotten in the way.
I've taken 30 minutes to read. Like, stop it. You watched the Bucks and the Pro Bowl
you
last night.
You haven't been busy. You just told us how busy you weren't. You watched two meaningless, one literally meaningless, and the other
mostly meaningless. Yeah, no argument.
Wild that you chose to just try and lie to Josh and I there.
I'm not lying.
You literally did, though. You said you're too busy after just telling us what you did the previous night.
I'm a busy guy. Will, what do you got for us, words-wise?
Okay, let's start with affable. Friendly, good-natured, easy to talk to. I would be a far more affable person to spend a weekend with than Strouf.
Hey.
Way to go.
It's not really how it's supposed to be.
It's not right, is it?
But it does work.
That's all I'm going for. It does work. Then we have machinations, a plot or a scheme. I'm upset that this show does not live up to the machinations of their punishments.
That doesn't work.
I'm still upset.
Is there another program on Earth where part of the plot is to look up the definition of things and repeat it in a sentence?
And then he gets it wrong every time? He gets it wrong every time.
I'm not cheating. I'm learning it the hard way.
You're looking up the definition.
The problem is you're not learning it, though.
I didn't look those up.
They oftentimes
I didn't look those up.
They oftentimes give you examples, and instead of just sort of working off what you're given, you try and wiggle it in, and it never works.
That's the beauty of the segment, though. I do appreciate that.
I'm
part.
throwing myself into deep water. That's how I learned best. Sink or swim.
Is it?
Yes.
The problem is you're not learning, so I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Hunter, you want me to cheat? You want me to cheat and be right all the time?
You got lead boots
I'm sure that'd
on.
be fun.
No, I don't want you to cheat. I don't condone cheating. I condone you actually learning the information. And clearly, the way that you're going about it isn't working.
I've known these words for 20 minutes. What do you mean I'm not learning?
He's doing
You want
great.
me to take the limitless pill?
If I could have a superpower, limitless, Bill.
The best part of it, too, is I use it in proper context.
Yes.
But he gets so hung up on the word, he forgets what happened before and after the word, so he can't then apply it in a similar fashion.
Because I got to try to spell them, because sometimes I lose them.
All right, we're done here. We're out of here. We're back with you Friday. We'll preview the Super Bowl with Brad Nortman. We will react more to Goody, and we will have a solution. Well, at least momentary resolution on Giannis and the Bucks from the NBA trade deadline. Big show coming for you at Friday, beginning at 12:30 Central, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison, on YouTube. And, of course, if you missed the show, you can get it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Make sure you subscribe, rate us 5 stars wherever you get your podcast. We will talk to you on Friday. Peace.